Welcome to a new video in my channel, and I have to say not much is happening nowadays, so I thought as a filler I'm just going to show you what I've been purchasing on AliExpress. And I think in the last video I said I'm not going to buy, well, I'm going to limit myself purchasing these 179 or 199 deals. Yeah, it doesn't actually work out that way because I think 6 of these products are from that deal. But yeah, that just happened. So I think first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the lights, because I do love lights and these portable LED lights, and I've already reviewed these two previously. So I purchased these two, and they are quite different, and I've been using them and I do find them useful. You know, just going out, if I have to pick up something in a garden, which I don't have a lot of lights, and, you know, just general light. And I had better hopes, or bigger, you know, hopes for this one, because it has this magnet. So the magnet turns out to be really weak. This part is actually quite useful, but what I find useful about this one is it has this thing that you can screw in a tripod mount. But the fact that it has this sort of this, I don't know what's called, it makes it possible so it just stands on the desk. So it doesn't roll over like this one. Well, this doesn't roll over either. But if I'm fixing something, I can just put it on the desk. So I was looking for something which has a similar thing, and that's the new one that I bought. So it also has this sort of mount, and it does go on a tripod, so that's good. And so that's my new light. Technically it's the same 500 milliamp hour battery, so it's supposed to last for a couple of hours. Yeah, I'm not really sure if it's going to last for like 5 or 6 hours as it states, but it definitely lasts for a, you know, for a decent amount of time. And yeah, it has 3 modes, so full power mode, low power mode, and a blinky. And unfortunately this doesn't have the option that you know, after you leave it in a certain state, then it turns off after the next push. So you always have to cycle through the mode, which I hate, and this would be the bare minimum that I would expect, which this does and the other one does not. But hey ho, I couldn't really figure this out by the listing. It has the USB-C, so I'm not buying micro USB anymore. It has an LED indicator light, so it shows when it's charging and it's fully charged. It also has a magnet, which seems to be a little bit stronger, but if something is shaking, probably it's not going to hold, but it's good enough to keep this stationary. And it also has this sort of kickstand, so it sits on something, and bottle opener and a clip. So yeah, for 179 or 199, I think it definitely worth it. And yeah, it was a good buy. I didn't regret it. And then I wanted something bigger, so I bought this, and I have to look up the listing because I don't remember the exact you know, specs, but this is one of these, you know, big ones, big flashlight. It has this front, which you can move it in and out in order to focus the light, and there is like a huge, I don't remember what the wattage or the lumen of the front LED. And it also has these. So again, it has one button and one USB-C connector, and you have a light which shows the sort of charging indicator as well, and the battery capacity as well, or state of charge. And this is freaking strong. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can buy, you know, stronger ones. I've seen bigger ones with, you know, multiple lens, but even this one is so bright. So if I turn this on, then it's, yeah, you can see, yeah, it is strong. And then if I move this ring in and out, you can see it makes the light focused, and then it brings it up. And I was out in the evening and I could lit the top of trees like 30 meters away without any issue. So this is really strong. It has the indicators here, and then if you operate the light for long enough, then when you press the button again, it turns off. But if you just, you know, keep pressing the light, it again cycles through the different modes. So full brightness, I think it's half brightness, and the blinky and off. And if you press long if you long press, then you can operate these lights. And it has a white and a low power white. It has a red one, and then it has this US, what is it, police pattern. So a blink of red and blue. I'm not sure if it would be, legal to use these lights, but yeah. And then you turn it off, and that's it. It doesn't have a magnet. It has a clip here and this strap, and that's it. And everything is plastic. This top ring part, which you can move, this feels a little bit colder, so this is probably aluminum or something, some light alloy. And I have to look up the waterproof rating, but I think it has some like basic waterproofing. I don't think I would be able to submerge this one, but yeah, otherwise it works great. I like it. It's definitely handy, and it's definitely great outdoors. Okay, so that was all the lights. What should we do next? Maybe we should do tools. So first, next is these connectors. And if you remember in my last mailbag video, I bought some waterproof connectors with a piece of cable, which I didn't understand how to make it waterproof if you have a piece of cable that you need to attach to. But anyway, so those were nice. And I said that I found something which is a little bit smaller. So these are the ones that are a little bit smaller. And you can see they have these keyed interface where you can just push it together. So the whole thing becomes that much. And then you can just easily separate it. So I think these would be more ideal for sort of like small connectors that you can easily disconnect, and because you can put the other way around, it is you can make sure that the polarity is always the same. And the wire connection is I would say this is probably best if you have single core wires. Otherwise, if you have multi-core wires, you just have to make sure that you twist them. But basically, you just put the wires through these small, can I focus here? Maybe here. Yeah, you can put these through, small holes here. And then you push it down, and then it makes contact. So that's how it works. I still need to test this, how securely it keeps the cable. But this looks nice, and you can buy a set of 10 pairs. So I think that's good. And sort of similar to this one, I bought these low temperature solder connectors. I've seen many of these. Where is my focus? I've seen many of these on social media. You basically put your wires through from each side, and this center ring is a low temperature solder. So you can melt it with a lighter, and then the solder is going to melt, and then this is a heat shrink as well, and it's going to fuse everything together. So for the connectors that I was talking previously, I think it's going to be great to attach the cables to the short cables that was provided, and it comes in different four different sizes, and I guess 50 or 20 each. With very small ones, medium, large, yeah. And it wasn't expensive. I don't think it's, based on the videos, it looks like that these are, pretty good, pretty reliable, as long as you don't expose them to higher heat, because that could remelt the solder. But maybe it doesn't remelt once it is soldered. I'm not sure. I think for sort of like a few applications, it's going to be very useful. Next, let's look at some tools. The first one, nothing really fancy. I wanted these extensions for my power tools, and that just basically, you can put it into your screwdriver or impact driver, and you can put the bits in here. Definitely made out of metal, probably not a great quality, but for my small screwdrivers and impact drivers, I think that's going to do a good job, especially if you have places that it's hard to reach. As long as you have openings that much, then you should be able to reach into places where if you have a smaller bit, then you wouldn't be able to reach from the chuck. So it comes in 3 different sizes, and that was also in the 190, or maybe it was 299 deal. So if you want these, then you can just look for the deals and then you can just get them cheap. I think that was good. And I couldn't find in any shops here these internal reamers. I don't really need, I don't need these a lot. So I have the, the usual sort of like a reamer. But if I'm cutting, for example, threaded rods and I need to clean up the cut, then this is going to cut a small cone. It feels fairly light, but I managed to ream a piece of cold rolled steel. It was doing a fine job. I didn't see that it got destroyed, so probably it's going to survive some. Maybe it's not going to be a really long life device or tool, but yeah, looks fine for the price. I also picked up this USB-C to USB-C. The reason I picked this up because it claims to deliver 100 watts. It also has a small display, and this is from a maker which is, I have no idea how to pronounce this, 2Key probably. And I'm seeing these more and more, probably like an emerging brand. They are mostly doing USB cables, and it was a good price. And I don't have a device which can, I think I have one of my power station that can deliver 100 watts over the USB-C, but I don't think I have anything which can draw 100 watts. So I'm not sure how I'm going to test this, but it's a new USB cable and it's supposed to be, high power delivery. Next one is, maybe we take this servo. And I bought this for a project which I'm not sure when I would have time to do, but I have found a YouTube video and a listing on Thingiverse where somebody has designed a 3D printable sort of like, I would say, knockoff version of the MagnoRail system, which is it's like for model trains where you can create like moving bicycles and moving cars. And then basically you just have a special sort of like chain under your layout, and then you have magnets attached to it. And this chain is driven by this sort of powerful servo. So I'm hoping that I would be able to build that project at someday, but I already bought the servo for it. And yeah, so that's just one more reason for me to go ahead with that project and actually build it, because I've already spent money on that. Well, the 3D printable files are €5 as well, so I have to buy that as well, but I will do that someday. Next, we have a couple of sort of like car accessories or bike or boat accessories, which I'm planning to use it for my big ride-on train. So this my locomotive doesn't have any fuse board at the moment, so everything is connected to the batteries, which is not good, because if the lights or something goes, then at least I want some fuses to protect the rest of protect the batteries and make sure that nothing is melted. So I bought this small distribution, not distribution board. Well, it's basically like a distribution board and also like a fuse board. And it uses these fairly inexpensive car fuses. So it will be easier to replace, and you can see you can do 6 circuits. You connect your plus here, minus, and bus bars and everything. And I think the small LEDs indicate if one of the fuses is gone. So that's actually a nice feature. And it also comes with this top, and in the package you also get a couple of ring terminals, and you get a few stencils like water pipe or pumps that you can stick on here, so you can label which circuit it is. I don't think I would use these just because of the wordings are not going to match, but I should be able to print my own things. So that's hopefully a winter project to install. Maybe it's going to be a next spring project, we'll see. Let me put this out of the way because it's big. And the other one is also related to the same project as, for the trains, because I have some of these consumers which are connected all the time. So if the loco is powered, then it is powered as well. So I bought this set of switches. So big, clunky, waterproof switches. You can buy these in sets of 2, 3, 4, and I think 6, maybe 5 as well. And the reason I bought this particular model, because it is rated for 12 and 24 volts. So I don't have to, well, I can run 24 volts straight here, and the small indicator lights work on 24 volts as well. And as you can see, everything is pre-wired. So I have the main, well, not the mains, but the 24 volt connection, and then the cable for the switches, or sorry, the lights I wired already, and you just have to run one more cable from here, which are the switched output. So it's nice and convenient because they have done most of the wiring already. So I think it was a good buy. And by the way, the plate itself feels metal, and the rest, well, this is obviously plastic. And also this comes with a set of stencils, which you can't really see, but the icons are printed as on white. So if you stick them on here, it will be, nice white pictograms on the black plastic. The next is a bike computer, and I'm planning to use this for my train as well. So I haven't tested this, I haven't looked at these, all the specs, but I'm hoping that you should be able to set this up, or you can configure it with a small diameter so it matches my train's wheel diameter. So it will be able to measure the real speed. Because usually the issue is that the train wheels are so small, then these bike computers, the lowest diameter is not small enough for those wheels, and there are some stats here, but I think those are probably just your usual 18, 20, 22 inch wheels. But mostly what I have seen on most of the other computers, that when you set it up initially, you have to provide the value in millimeters, and that usually starts around I don't know, maybe 200 or something. So we'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'm going to use it for my main bike, but primarily I bought it for my train, and I picked this one specifically because this has a wired connection between the sensor and the main unit. And the reason I did that, because on the train there is a lot of metal, so if the connection is wireless, I was afraid that it might just not work. And also I bought a wireless one for my bike, and it doesn't work because it's just too far away. Like if my bike is, or the distance between the sensor and the computer is 10 centimeters less, then it works, but it just doesn't on my bike. So again, it will be useful for my bike as well. And I like the fact that it has a fairly large display for the speed, and then it also has the clock on the main screen. But yeah, other than that, it's a bike computer. It's well, I don't remember the price, but I think it was reasonably priced. And these are not expensive from no-name brands anymore. You can buy them in Lidl. I mean, the other one I bought for my bike is from Lidl, and well, that doesn't work for me. So I'm almost out with all the things that I bought except one. I wanted a label printer, and there is this Chinese company called the Nimbot. I guess it's pronounced Nimbot, and they have some really funky looking models, and I decided to purchase the not funky looking model. So I think one of the newer models is this B1, and there is another one which has this really retro look. It looks really, really nice, and it's really stylish. But to be honest, my one is mostly going to be sitting in a box. I mean, I only going to use it occasionally to print labels. So I thought I'm just going to go for the, the traditional looking one, which is about, I think about $10 cheaper. It's not really the price, but I wouldn't use the stylish one. But the stylish one is really nice, and it does pretty much the same, well, I think it's the same features. I'll try to compare them. So this one works with your phone and works with your laptop. You can connect it with USB-C and then it works with the laptop. There is a Windows application, so you can create your labels, edit them in Windows. You can also assign a spreadsheet, so you can just create a bunch of labels at the same time. You can do QR codes, you can do, images, everything. And then you can also connect it to your phone via Bluetooth, and then you can just print from your phone. And it has a built-in battery, so normally you just need this. You turn it on, and then if you turn on your phone, the two will just talk to each other, and you can use the Nimbot app on your phone to create your labels, and it works fine. It's easy to do, and it's really great. And the other thing I like about this one is it uses a if I open this one, so you can buy various size labels, and then all the labels that are here, they have like an RFID chip. So when you put the labels in, or the spool of labels, and then you turn on the device and you turn on your phone, it automatically knows what label you have placed in, and then it would resize the user interface according to that label. So again, you're not going to make mistakes, because then the device knows what labels to buy. And I checked the labels, they are not excessively expensive. I bought a couple of labels already. I bought this one is, I think, 50 by 25. These are millimeters. And then you can see there are two labels in, so it always prints two at the same time. But then if you buy, bigger ones like 50 by 30, then you just have one big label, and then it prints one label at a time. And as you can see, you could see and hear previously that when you turn it off, it automatically spools the label back to the start. And yeah, it's a label printer. It works great. And this battery Bluetooth thing, it just makes it, so easy to use. Probably the only other thing I would say is that instructions are completely in Chinese, but it's not really difficult to figure this out. And when you install the application, I think this is probably the QR code for the application, then the first thing that the application does, it shows you like a 3-minute video, which is basically covers the basic operation. But again, if you just look at these pictures, you can pretty much figure out how it works. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I've used it a couple of times. If you've seen my videos where I installed a tap home system on a new home, I made a couple of labels like the IP addresses and the name of the modules. So those were printed with this. And I'm creating a new test board for my Matter devices that I can use to, in some of my Matter videos. So I did labels and a couple of icons there. Those are printed on this guy as well. So, so far it's looking good. I think it was a good purchase, and that's it. It comes with a USB-C cable, and other than that, you can just buy additional consumables, and they come up they arrive in small boxes. But yeah, it's great. It's the Nimbot B1, and I think this will conclude today's post bag. So I think that will be all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.